The two 12mm bolts and bolt the caliper to the caliper bracket, and then you can remove these Phillips head screws that mount the rotor to the hub. Then you can remove the caliper from the caliper bracket by prying it and just move it aside. Make sure the e-brake's off or else you're not getting that off. Remove the brake pads. Next you want to remove the caliper bracket. There's two 14mm bolts bolted on. Next thing you want to look at are these dust boots for these guide pins and make sure these guide pins can move freely. I always add a little bit more grease in there to make sure that I'm not going to have any issues down the line. Also, the caliper piston boot, if I can get in the camera here. This boot, you want to inspect it and make sure there's no cracks in it. Also, the brake lines, these rubber lines, inspect those and make sure there's no cracks in it. If there are, replace them. With the two screws removed, you can remove the rotor. On this style of rear disc brakes, you're going to need to rent this tool kit that you can find at pretty much any auto parts store. And what it does is it turns this piston clockwise back in. Typically you can just press them in, but on this style you have to turn them in because the e-brake is functioning through the caliper also. So what you do, put your tool in, line it up, and then you turn it. You can kind of watch the piston go in. I can't zoom in any further. You want to make sure it's bottomed completely out. There it is. You can install the rotor, make sure that these indented holes match up with the screw holes on the hub assembly. So you can put the Phillips screws back in there, it tightens it up. And then you can install the caliper bracket with the two 14mm bolts on the back side. You can install the brake pads into the little groove there. Make sure that this wear bar indicator is on the inside lower edge, inside pad. Slide the caliper back on. Install the two 12mm bolts. Once you got the caliper bolted on, you're done with the brake job, so install the wheel and repeat the same process for the other side of the